afternoon. It's Monica from Life is Art, and this is the Friday 5 p.m. demo at the December in Lapland online crop. And we have been having a good day looking at the area of Lapland called Inari and creating some beautiful artwork. And if you have been looking at all of the beautiful snowy scenes in and around Lapland since we started our journey yesterday, it might remind you of this collection, the Snowy Scenes collection from the um, September to December catalog. So this catalog is winding down, and currently there is a section on the website called Last Chance, and quite a few of the items in this catalog are available for last chance. So if you had something in the back of your mind that you said, I'd like to get that, now is the time to do that. And so we're going to be using this set, the Snowy Scenes set. We're also going to be using a stamp set that's been around for a while, and this stamp set was in last year's annual catalog and was carried over to this year's, and it's called Love This Moment. And we're going to be using this in an unusual way. If you noticed when you clicked into the video that the title was Using the Flip Side, and so we'll get to that in a minute or two. If you're joining me live, just say hello or howdy so I know you're here. If you're watching later on replay, then I'm happy that you joined in, and feel free to leave a comment so we know you came by. Now, we are going to start out our layout using a 12 by 12 piece of white, basic white cardstock. I'm going to stick it down to my mat so we can get started working right away. And so just putting a little adhesive on the back, and we're going to stick it down. There we go. Ready to start creating. Now, I was inspired to create this layout based off of I'm just adjusting, seeing if I can get the focus to work better. I know we are skewed still. We're a little bit squashed from left to right, so this looks narrower than it should. Hopefully that will sort itself out someday, because nothing I've done so far has helped. So, hey Lynn, good evening. You're watching us from Dolphin Bingo. That sounds exciting. I'm not sure what Dolphin Bingo is, but it sounds exciting. So this particular layout I saw a while ago. I've been thinking and thinking and thinking about it, and I finally decided to get at it. And if you were watching the other day when I was doing a layout with the snowy scenes, you might have heard me say, I think I have enough in this collection to create one more layout and then maybe some cards, and then I think it'll be all done. So I'm making another layout. So here we are. Now I'm going to start out with something a little bit different than usual, and that is I'm going to use the black Stampin' Right marker to start my layout, which seems odd, but this is a unique layout, so bear with me. We're just going to start by making some doodled on lines that are just kind of swirly on our paper. Now, I don't know about you, but that might seem a little bit scary, but nothing ever comes without some experimentation, right? And then we're going to do some more swirls down here like that, and that looks fun. Fun. What do you think I could be doing? Who knows? We will figure that out. Now, we've gotten to the point where I will tell you the flip side. Now, this is kind of a technique, but it's also a demo because I'm using the Snowy Scenes collection. But it is also a technique. Now, you've seen me before do some interesting things using the flip side of something. And if you recall, I did some brick walls a while back, some stone work by using the flip side of some alphabet stamps. And I know that Stampin' Up! Makes stamps that you can stamp on both sides. But this is just using a regular stamp. It's not one that's meant to be stamped on both sides. These drawn lines is we're going to make some Christmas light strings. Now, I don't have anything that is a Christmas light. I don't have a Christmas light stamp. I don't have embellishments that look like Christmas lights. Oh my, are we ever blurry today? So I don't have those. So I was looking at my stamps, seeing what I could do, and it dawned on me that in this Love This Moment stamp set, there is a little geotag. You know those little geotags that look like a little pointer pointing to something? Well, I gave this a go, and you're going to think that it's kind of a neat idea. So all you need to do is you need to stick your stamp on your block the wrong way around. So instead of having the side that has the outline, you want to have the side that's the back of the stamp. And that now gives us what looks like a teardrop shape to stamp with. And if we turn it around and envision our string here, it looks like a little pointy light bulb. How cool is that? Now, this stamp is very small. And so because it's very small, and it's just a little tiny bit of an outline, it didn't really want to stick to my stamp block very well. It's also been used before, and that can make a difference too. Fresh new stamps are really good for sticking onto the blocks. So I actually used a couple of mini glue dots to stick this on here, and it's holding it on nicely, and they'll just peel off the acrylic stamp, the photopolymer, when we're done. So don't worry about that. Now I need some colors to create my Christmas lights. So I'm going to be using colors that coordinate with the Snowy Scenes collection. And so I have Garden Green, Poppy Parade, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party. These three, I don't have the full-size stamp pads, but I have the Stampin' Spots for those. And so that'll work just fine. So I think we'll start with the Pool Party. And we'll just ink up our little geotag here. Now you want to stamp this so that the base is by the string. And then you've got your little pointy light hanging down, just like that. And we'll kind of work our way around the string of lights. We're going to leave some spaces in between because we're going to have other colors on there. And just kind of envision a string of lights. Use your imagination. Get them on there. And just work your way around. It really doesn't take very long. And it's going to look so cool. All right, now let's come down here to this bottom string. And let's add some lights. This would also work on a card, this little technique. And because this little light is quite small, the little geotag stamp is pretty small. So it'll work for smaller projects. Alrighty, let's get one more of these on here, and then we're going to switch colors. So let me grab my Stampin' Scrub. I'm going to give it a little wash, a little dry, and then it's ready to go. I just want to be gentle that I don't pull that stamp off of the glue dot. So we'll give it an extra little squish down to make sure it's there. Okay, next let's come in with the Poppy Parade. And I should probably not be putting my ink pad right on my project in case it accidentally flips or something. That could be sad. And so let's add some Poppy Parade on there. It's such a lovely bright color, very cheerful. There we go. Another one there. Maybe one over here. I think that's good for up there. And then let's see what add. And you just keep moving your stamp block around so that it all gets in the right direction for what you're doing. There we go. Another one. And maybe one more over here. And I kind of feel like I want another little bit of red, maybe right about there. Just because it's a nice bright color. And not all of the colors are quite at that bright. All right, let's give this a little wash off. Scrubby, scrubby. There we go. And make sure it's stuck down. And then let's bring in the Daffodil Delight. Nice yellow color. It's always funny when you see the stamp pad because it looks like it's brown, but it's not. It's yellow. Let's add some yellow in here. We can even stamp off the edge. That works too. Let's add a little bit there. And one there. So fun. I started this time on the bottom. Let's move up to the top. Make sure we got it going the right direction. What do you guys think of these little lights? I think they're super cute. I don't know why I never thought of it before. It's a really fun little technique. There we go. All right, let's give this a wash. And then we'll move on to our last color, which is the garden green. Just put the lid on that one. Last one. And if we need to, we can go back and add any of the other colors if we see that there's any blank spots, because you're kind of just guessing and by gollying them on here. It's not like we measured. Super fun. This just makes me think Christmassy thoughts, right? When it's so colorful. I'm surprised I got that one close to the line. I kind of stamped it blind. I couldn't see where I was going with that one. There we go. Let's add one down here too. And one there. Some of these might get covered up when we get going with what we're doing for the rest of the layout. But that's okay. There we go. All done. How fun was that? And how cute do those look? Oh my goodness. Loving them. I think they're super, super cute. You might just see me making a card in the next little while using that same idea. Because whatever you do on a layout, you can do on a card. The things you do on a card, you can do on a layout. Transferable skills. That's what they are. Now, you know me. You know I love fussy cutting. And so from the Snowy Scenes collection, we have paper that has little houses all over it. And so I have gone ahead and I have fussy cut out some of the little houses. And so the little houses are just going to kind of get plunked on here. And if there were trees near them or the little mountains near them, then I fussy cut that all out together. Then here's another one, and I cut out a tree as well, just from another spot, just so it had a little friend beside it. And then from, let me see, there's another one, another little house, so cute. I had somebody ask me recently why I hold things up on the back of my hand. It's because it gives a flat surface closer to the camera for the camera to focus on. If I held it down here, or if I just held out the item without a large flat surface, it wouldn't focus on it. All right, also from the pattern paper, we have cute little penguins. I love them. They're so sweet. So we've got some penguins to stick on there. There's a tree with decorations on it. You know, if you don't look at pattern paper and see embellishments, you're totally missing out. We've got a little snowman there. He's gonna hang out there. Then we've also got some snowflakes. Let's add some snowflakes on here too. We're just kind of making this feel like it's a little roadway now. So we've got Christmas lights, but we've turned it into a little roadway. Here's another snowflake coming in here. Let's stick that on there. It doesn't matter about scale and size. We're just making interesting things, sticking them on there, and I think that looks super, super fun. Let's grab our adhesive and get these stuck down. Now I did sort of the bit that takes a little bit of time. That's the fussy cutting ahead of time. But it really doesn't take a long, long time to fussy cut out these little bits. Sometimes Stampin' Up! Even has dies that cut out the pieces from the collections, and that is super handy if you're not somebody who wants to sit and fussy cut like me. So we're just going to go ahead and stick these on here, and when I get to my photos here, because I haven't shown you my photos yet, you might see why I got so inspired by this particular layout. You can see how fast that went, creating this background. It's even, I think, faster than making a messy background. Just those little swirls, and then stamp some light bulbs from our geotag using the flip side. Super cute, super quick. And I think it just makes it so fun and colorful and playful. And that is totally going to suit the photos that I'm sticking on here. It's also, I'm going to add photos that don't have people in them. There's going to be some journaling here eventually. I could even do journaling. If you were super prepared and whatnot, instead of drawing a string, I could have just written tiny little journaling as my string and then put the lights around them. That would have been fun too. But yeah, there we go. I'm going to give these all a little extra smush down. Giving it the smush down. There we go. Because they got liquid glue, so they're going to do some fun things. So now you can tell the smush is happening with the video, but we persevere on. Let me show you the photos that we're going to be using. Several years ago, as in like 10, 11 years ago, our family worked all together on one gingerbread house. Now, in years since then, we have let the kids make their own gingerbread houses. But back then, we made one gingerbread house, and we sure loaded it up with all sorts of fun and delicious candy. So I have printed out this photo, and it's a weird size. I totally just eyeballed it. It's about 3 3/4 by almost 4 1/2. And I've grabbed a piece of the Poppy Parade cardstock to mat it on. So let's get those stuck together. A little bit of adhesive. Again, using that nice punch of color from the Poppy Parade to accent the photo. And it also kind of gives a bit of an edge because the background for my photo was kind of a yellowy color, which is a little bit different from what's happened, yellowy brownish. And then here's a close-up. My husband took these photos, and he's great at photography. And so here's a close-up of the roof and the icicles hanging off of it. My kids, when they were little, would always ask me to put the icicles on their gingerbread houses for them. But now they're getting so they do it themselves. Mom's out of a job. Mom's got to make her own gingerbread house now if she wants one to play with icicles. But when they were little, they thought they were so cool to have the icicles hanging off their houses. And it just kind of looks like it's been through a wild wintry weather, kind of like what a lot of people are having this weekend, which, by the way, is great for crafting. You know, you don't have to feel guilty about hanging out inside doing your crafty stuff when the weather outside is a little bit frightful. So this was more of a sweet bit of weather that happened to this particular house. Hopefully your house doesn't have icicles quite like that. We haven't had quite that big of a storm here in Brampton. And we're just going to lay, oh, this particular photo was about a 3-inch square. So my mat's about 3¼ inches. And we're just going to kind of, we're going hither and thither with this whole layout, right? It's very free flowing, very loose. And then we want to have a title. And so let me bring in my title. And I had a few different title options that I was kind of going back and forth on. But when I decided on this one, I was like, yep, that's the one that I like. And that's the one I stuck with. I used my mini alphabet dies to cut these out of black cardstock. Sorry, I got to pick these up one at a time here. So just takes a moment. So we have a winter icing storm. Instead of an ice storm, we have an icing storm. I thought that was super cute, tongue-in-cheek. And we can go ahead and glue these down. We're going to use our famous technique of putting a little bit of glue on our hand, grabbing our tweezers, and we're going to stick. Tap, tap in, tap, tap out. And I really don't have to line these up, although I might be attempting to. If they get a little out of whack, it's okay, because everything, like I said, is a little bit free floating on this layout. Winter. Hey, Leslie, nice to see you're watching. You're a little bit late. That's okay. We have replay. That's the best thing about video things. If you're a little bit late, you just go back and watch it again, right? You're loving the layout. Awesome. Yes. So I started out at the beginning saying that I had seen this layout and I was inspired and I wanted to make it. And so the person who has their watermark on this, it's posted on Pinterest, is, and I should remember it because my name is in there, Flora Monica Farkas. But it's Monica with a K. Flora Monica Farkas. And I saw it and I was like, oh my goodness, I love that idea of doing the drawn light strings. And then when I was racking my brain trying to think, how am I going to get lights on there? And my brain just all of a sudden went, ooh, what if I have a stamp shape that I could use? And then I was so excited because I had that geotag and it was just ideal. Exactly what I needed. Couldn't have planned it better. So we're having a winter icing storm. I'm glad I set these down like this so I know how to spell everything. And I think we might just have enough glue without having to re-glue my hand. Just picking up the last little bits. Winter icing storm. And you know what? When the kids have been busy making gingerbread houses, it does kind of look like a bit of a storm, especially if they're, shaking the sprinkles onto the roof. I once had 8 kids here for between 6 and 8 who were building each their own gingerbread house. It was quite an adventure with icing and sprinkles and candy. A lot of the candy got eaten before it got onto the house. So there we go. We have our winter icing storm layout made with our hand-drawn string of lights, stamping using the flip side of our geotag from the Love This Moment stamp set. We have fussy cut-out houses and trees from our pattern paper, some penguins and some snowmen, trees, little snowflakes, just to add lots of interest. We matted with Poppy Parade and Garden Green, then doing our title in the basic black using the mini alphabet dies. I hope you guys loved seeing this come together. I hope you feel inspired to see what you can do with your stamps, even if you flip them to the back side. All right, have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, and we will be on this evening at 7 o'clock for Chat and Craft. We'll see you then. Toodaloo. Bye.